It has been a while since Serbia's joined me on one of these videos, and out of all the videos to pick, they wanted to check out this one. I want to emphasize to you that this was Serbia's choice. I am very much okay with this choice.
Zero sat down and he said, "You have to pick what we're gonna watch." And
You
I said,
have
"Well,
to.
fuck it, okay.
You
Then
must
let's
make a
watch the
decision.
Sauron video. So here we are.
All I know
I
about
haven't
this
watched
one,
this video yet, but I like this villain. He's so funny.
I think we did learn a little bit about him during the Spider-Man video that we checked out. And the only thing I do remember is him wanting to turn everyone into dinosaurs, which is a noble pursuit. I agree with that.
Yeah, I figure you'll like it too, because you like dinosaurs.
I do, very much so. Except Devil Dino when he's on the enemy team, but I digress.
He gets banned every time. But
Speaking of, that's a video that we should check out in the future. A ton of Marvel Rivals characters that we have yet to even learn about. So,
yes.
Look forward to that. I guess I should also put it out there that there's probably going to be a lot of people cheering, Serbi's back finally. Serbi's back for now. We'll see how schedules turn out. We are two adults living on the opposite side of the world from each other. Scheduling is kind of rough. Right now, just to put it out there, I've just finished streaming Resident Evil 9. It is almost 1 in the morning for me. I might be cooked, bros, but I'm going to hold here so that we can get this recording done. Right?
Good thing we're choosing a pretty easy, not a intense like cosmology video or anything crazy like that.
If I do miss something, I apologize. This is me. This is the current state that I'm in. But yeah, let's get to it. But before we do, please make sure to go support Sir Superhero. Link to do so will be at the very top of the description, like always.
With the DNA we liberated from the grave desecration you call a museum, I have perfected the Saurianization process. You rice paper puppets will be given forms befitting Earth's dominant species.
You can rewrite DNA on the fly, and you're using it to turn people into dinosaurs? But with tech like that, you could cure cancer.
But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. If you've been in the comic book...
Okay, yeah, you have to start with that right off the bat. That's what everybody knows about this character, I assume. Such a good line, too.
It is.
book space for long enough, you've probably seen that panel floating around before. And yeah, it's a pretty good one. You want to hear the backstory behind it?
Oh, sure.
The mastermind so confident in his villainous plan here is none other than Sauron, an excellent example of Marvel's cheesy, gimmicky villain of the week types, though maybe not one with the gimmicks that you would expect exactly. Sauron is very weird. Today, I'm going to be talking about Sauron and his wildly convoluted origin story. Why? Purely because I want to. And what's the point of being a self-employed comic book YouTuber if I can't do a silly one every now and again? The 2-hour documentaries are great. Don't get me wrong, I love doing those. But sometimes, I just want to talk about a dinosaur man. So
honestly, this is a very valid point. And for all upcoming content creators or people who want to do content creation, I highly recommend, if you're doing that, there are going to be things that you make for the algorithm, things you make for the audience, and things that you make for yourself. You need these 3 different kinds of things on your channel, 100%. Or else you're not going to last. Just trust me on this one. So I fully support Sir Superhero. Just talk about whatever he wants to, honestly. Just have fun.
So why not? Let's go. Though I am going to do a disclaimer right at the beginning. I know that Sauron is technically a pterosaur, and pterosaurs and dinosaurs are not classified in the exact same way. I promise I'm aware of this.
Really?
But the comic books we're going to be going over do...
Here's a chart from the Smithsonian which fulfills my real science quota for the video. The rest of this shall be comic book sci-fi nonsense. I see.
Perfect.
Pterosauria. Oh, it's before it was even classified as dinosaur morpha. Oh, yeah, I like dinosaurs, but I don't know about any of this.
Phylogenetic trees are one of my least favorite parts of biology. They're so boring to me. I can't.
Well, hey, then it's good that it's very interesting to other people, so they can classify these things properly.
100%.
do not always make that distinction, and therefore, for simplicity, and so I don't have to say dinosaurs and pterosaurs every time, I'm just going to say dinosaur for the remainder of this video. Again, I'm aware of the difference. You don't have to correct me in the comments about it, and if you do, may Khonshu, greatest of all the great gods, curse your entire bloodline. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, I can start talking about the origin of Sauron. Sauron's real name is Dr. Carl Lycos, and let me just put it this way. He's a comic book supervillain who got turned into a dinosaur man, and he has Doctor in his name. So take a wild guess as to what happened here. Now that you all have a pretty safe bet in your heads as to roughly how Sauron ended up this way, I'll just go ahead and continue. Dr. Carl Lycos was a hypnotherapist. Wait, hypnotherapist? What? No, surely like biology or chemistry or something. He's a dinosaur man. The hell do you mean hypnotherapist?
What even is that? Is that some sort of pseudoscience thing? Psychology thing? Is that even real?
I honestly have no idea what the validity behind it would be.
From the title, it feels like you get hypnotized in order to treat some sort of past trauma, I guess.
Hypnosis is actually a fascinating subject, and I honestly am not qualified to comment on.
Yeah. It's always one of those things where you question, like, how real is it actually? And then you could hear it from people who've experienced it or practiced it, and then it's like really real for them. And then other times it just doesn't work at all for some other people. So like, who knows?
Yeah.
Man.
Like I want to apply it to like some sort of placebo, but I can't in full confidence do that. Who knows?
I watched Get
It's not
Out.
my area of expertise anyways.
Will not allow anybody to hypnotize me. Not of my own volition, of my own will.
I would never.
And just in case.
I am skeptical of it, but I am hesitant of it to an extent that I will never go anywhere near it.
I am not about to fuck around and find out, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Just in case.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Sauron's origin story, it's dumb, it's real dumb. However stupid you think it's going to be, it is probably going to be worse. I'm just gonna take you through the comic where he first appears because that's really the only way I can present this, otherwise you'd think I was lying. Sauron's first appearance is technically in issue 59 of X-Men, like the original X-Men comic. He's a pretty old character. The reason I say technically there is while he is in issue 59, he's only there on the last page as a teaser for the next issue, so 60 is the one where he actually does stuff. During a fight against a couple of Sentinels, Havoc's powers overloaded and sent him into a state of shock. Hoping to wake him up and get him proper treatment, the rest of the team takes him to Dr. Lycos, who is apparently a former colleague of Professor X, though the circumstances under which they worked together have never really been explained. Whatever their affiliation was, it is apparently enough that the doctor...
I should note here that Lycos is a physician and does have a medical degree. He doesn't just do hypnotherapy, though that is his specialty and what his clinic appears to focus on. So, you got some mad scientist experimenty things going on, but he's actually like a doctor, pushing the limits of your craft, I suppose.
Is trusted, even though that would turn out to be wrong, and the X-Men leave Havoc in his care. Once he's alone, Carl immediately starts monologuing about his origin, and so we just get it all laid out on the page here. Here we learn that Carl's father was a professional mountain guide, and as a young man, Carl would sometimes join on his dad's expeditions. This was usually fine until one fateful climb in Tierra del Fuego, where the daughter of their client would get separated from the group and go missing. The adults would quickly split up to search for her, and Carl would soon discover that the girl had wandered into a hidden tunnel and ended up in an ice cave full of pteranodons?
What?
Why were there a bunch of pteranodons flying around an ice cave in Tierra del Fuego? I have absolutely no idea. The comic does not address this for even a second.
A later comic would establish that the creatures had wandered away from the Savage Land. This does not make sense, but no other explanation is provided. Either way, this was not in the original comic. They really were just there.
Beautiful. I would have it no other way.
What is the Savage Land? Because I know that there's a stage in Marvel Tokon that is in the Savage Land, but that's really all I've seen of it.
I am not super knowledgeable on it. I haven't read any of those comics, but it's basically kind of what you would expect. It's a small region that's basically prehistoric, from my understanding.
Honestly, I was gonna say this entire plotline feels kind of like that one Ice Age movie. I forget which one it was, but the one where they go into the ice and then deep down there's the dinosaurs in the small world that they live in.
They are just there. But whatever, Carl gets an entire page where he's just beaten dinosaurs with a stick, and he apparently is able to fight enough of them off that they flee, and he saves the girl. In the process of his heroics, though, Carl does take some injuries, and one of the dinosaurs bites him.
Oh my god. This is why he's a Spider-Man villain. They have the same origin. We're not so different, you and I.
I was bitten by a radioactive Triceratops.
To return to my earlier bit, take a wild guess as to where this is going now. That's right, Carl Lycos is bitten by a pteranodon and transformed into a vampire.
What?
Vampire?
What the fuck? Never mind. We're not alike at all, you and I. I'm built different. God.
I love it.
Why is it every single time like I check out a video with you, Serby, my ankles get broken? What is happening?
I don't know, man.
Like the Elders of the Universe, that was pretty straightforward. Like I understood what was happening. I got it. What the hell is going on here? It feels like we're doing Ghost Rider all over again. Oh boy.
No. Werewolf or
books.
were dinosaur or rare pteranodon or whatever. Surely this is like a lycanthropy thing. Why is he a vampire? Why does getting bitten by a dinosaur turn him into a vampire?
I don't know.
Once again, the comic makes no effort to explain this at all, and it's actually even weirder than you would think, which at this point is maybe the expected pattern. Carl is not a normal vampire, now he's an energy vampire. Being bitten by a pteranodon turned him into an energy vampire. Carl first discovers his newfound curse when he accidentally drains the life energy of his pet dog. The dog does survive this, actually, but is terrified of his owner and never goes near him again. And then this is just kind of how Carl lives for a long time after this. He does need to drain energy to survive, but he can do so in a non-lethal way, and so he has a relatively regular life, draining energy when he needs it, but not being a supervillain or anything like that. Though he does end up falling in love with the girl that he saved all those years ago, which I don't love. They are both adults at this point, so that's good.
I guess.
But there is also definitely an uncomfortable age gap between the two. I don't believe...
Just a little bit. Especially if you...
Just a little bit.
Like, you're saving somebody as, like, a kid who got lost when you're, like, nearly an adult.
Kind of gives a little bit uncomfortable groomer vibes.
A little bit. But, you know, it's their business. As long as they're both adults, it's whatever.
Yeah, at least they are both adults.
Yeah.
We know exactly how long it was between Carl getting bitten and the X-Men stuff, but during this period is when he becomes a doctor and opens his hypnotherapy practice, which is a legitimate clinic, but also a front for him to find victims that he can drain. Again, though, it's important to note that he is not a villain at this point. He's a little crazy, sure, but the comic does explicitly state that Dr. Lycos is just doing what
Yeah, eat plenty of iron so you can have enough energy.
You're
Next time I suck you off. Pause.
He needs to survive. His patients come in, get put into a trance, he drains a little bit of energy while they're under, but then they leave weakened but with no lasting damage. This works enough in the short term, but is not a sustainable solution to his problem long term.
I see. So that's probably why it was the whole hypnotherapy thing, to put people under so they don't realize what's happening to them so he can
Yeah,
survive.
makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. Well,
It's the most sense it's made so far.
yeah, exactly. Exactly what I was going to say. You're trying to find like what makes sense in this whole jumble of mess. That does. Logic tracks.
Dr. Lycos needs more energy and is constantly looking into ways he could possibly acquire it, with mutants being one of his main ideas. He theorized that mutants contained more life energy than regular people, which, okay, sure, by X-Men standards, that's relatively normal enough, and this is evidently why Carl knew Professor X.
I mean, we had the whole thing with like the Phoenix Force and all the mutants and them using those powers in order to defeat Dr. Evil or whatever his name was. Like we had checked
It's
that
not
one
like
out.
the biggest jump in logic, yeah.
Yeah.
They did some early mutant research together, but Carl was never actually able to test his theory.
Also, I said Dr. Evil. I don't remember what his name was, but it was
I
basically
think
that.
it's Sinister, I assume.
Yeah, Sinister. With a name like
Dr.
that.
Evil, Dr. Sinister.
It's basically the same thing, yeah. That's why I remembered it that way.
Mhm.
Until Havoc showed up. Dr. Lycos excitedly begins the draining process and finds that his theory was correct. Draining a mutant gives him access to more energy than he's ever been able to take before. And he also learns that if he takes enough energy in one go, then he turns into a dinosaur man.
What?
I did warn you that this was going to be very, very dumb. And we're not even done yet, because the page where Lycos first transforms is incredible. I'm gonna do a whole reading of this, and I just need you to remember going in, he was not a villain up to this point. A bit insane because of his curse, sure, but not evil. And then this happens. I can bear no more, but even breaking contact does not stop the pain of surging muscles where once there were none, fierce talons of pain that scrape my back, bringing forth leathery wings. My body, my face, my very soul, they are changed, transformed, filled with a bursting, billowing power. Power for good or power for evil. And I choose evil! So...
Oh my god, man. This fucking hero kids, am I right?
Oh, I love it.
It's so dramatic. Imagine this happening to you and you monologuing the entire thing. I choose evil! What the fuck? The most grounded character ever.
The writer in the room being like, "Oh, I cooked with this one."
Who let him cook? No!
Let him keep cooking. I want more.
He's a villain now. That's it. Seems like he was just kind of teetering on the edge of that decision anyway, if this is all it took. He's monologuing to himself, and he goes, power for good or power for evil, and I choose evil. And that's that. And believe it or not, his monologue isn't even done there, because right after choosing evil in a surprisingly quick decision, Lycos continues, quote, an evil so great, so monumental, that only one name in all the annals of literature will contain it. The name of Tolkien's ultimate villain, that Dark Lord who personified evil,
Sauron.
who was truly evil incarnate, the name of Sauron.
Holy shit, man. Whoever made this character was a Lord of the Rings fan and a massive nerd for dinosaurs.
I love it.
I can definitely see the very clear connection here. I get it. I forget the actual dinosaur
It's
or
a
whatever,
masterpiece.
but I believe that there was this scientist or biologist who had named a dinosaur specifically like something Sauron. Maybe that's why we call them Saurons, because the skull
Maybe.
reminded him of the eye of Sauron. So it's like that's why they are the way they are.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
a lot of nerds up there in that science crowd, that's for sure. I mean, hey, look at us.
There was the one I think was a geneticist that named it after the Arknight's character.
Oh, of course.
That's right, folks. His
Sauron.
name is not a coincidence. This guy is actively in universe named after the Tolkien villain.
Yeah, I didn't mention it because I thought it was just be like, yeah, he's a dinosaur. Sauron makes sense. Never mind. It's just a direct reference.
In fact, he named himself after the Tolkien villain. Now, before we move on, I will go ahead and address this. I am admittedly not a Lord of the Rings guy, but I'm pretty sure that the character's name in Tolkien is supposed to be pronounced Sauron.
Yeah.
But also, they're not called dinosaurs, so I'm gonna go with the pun pronunciation of the name and call the Marvel villain Sauron for the rest of this, because it just feels right. Getting back to the actual storyline, after turning into his dinosaur form for the first time, Sauron just kind of flies away and then almost immediately gets into a fight with Angel. And it's during this fight that we go yet another layer stupider, because even after transforming into a Pteranodon man, he still has hypnotism powers. Not only that, his hypnotism abilities are actually better than they were. He just needs to look into somebody's eyes and he can make them see whatever he wants. And not only that, this is one of his main abilities in his early appearances. Sauron's primary two things during this era are being a hypnotist and draining life energy from his enemies.
This really does sound like a kindergartner in the playground coming up with a superhero and a supervillain and constantly adding powers to it. Is a dinosaur with hypnotic eyes that beats your superhero. But I guess that's just comics in general for you. That's how it goes. Until it kind of like
some of the older ones.
Oh yeah. They had a lot of fun back in the day.
So he's really just a vampire villain that looks like a dinosaur because it's cool, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
Just to recap this again, Dr. Carl Lycos was a regular man who was bitten by a pteranodon, turned into an energy vampire, became a hypnotherapist, drained the life force out of a mutant, and then learned that if he drains mutants, he turns into a dinosaur man, which he then uses to fight the X-Men. These guys on the screen right here, this is the creative team behind this book. I don't know which of them were on drugs during the writing of this comic, but I'm gonna guess it was at least 2 out of 3 of them. Anyway, Sauron cannot maintain his dinosaur state forever. It is dependent on him having enough energy within his system, and if he gets low, he has to drain more or he reverts back to human form. Because of this, he ends up getting into a couple more fights with various members of the X-Men, and then bails when he is confronted by Tanya, the woman he fell in love with. The apparent reason for this is that he does not want Tanya to see the monster that he has become, saying that he didn't realize how fully the evil side of him was in command.
Maybe they're trying to do like a Jekyll and Hyde sort of thing, which is why he had the whole dramatic speech, because it's like a swapping of personality, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Which, come on, dude, you flipped evil literally 2 seconds after getting superpowers and immediately named yourself after a Lord of the Rings villain. I feel like you're kind of enjoying this. The comic ends with Carl dramatically throwing himself off a cliff into the sea, presumed dead, though of course he does survive, and later pops up in the Savage Land, which, yeah, anyone who already knows what the Savage Land is was probably expecting it to make a quick appearance. For anyone who is not familiar with the Savage Land, it is one of the weirdest places on Marvel's version of Earth. The Savage Land is a little circle in Antarctica surrounded by a mountain range that, thanks to some ancient alien meddling, functions kind of like a wildlife preserve of prehistoric Earth all the way up to the present day. Is it a shameless excuse for Marvel creators to be able to write dinosaur stories with the superheroes? Yes, it absolutely is. But it's not one that I'm going to argue with because a lot of funny stuff happens in the Savage Land. Typically, anything dinosaur related is going to have its roots here, and so it's only natural that Sauron would eventually make his way there as well. Importantly, though, he is human when he arrives at the Savage Land. There are enough animals for him to drain, but there aren't mutants readily available, so he cannot turn into his dinosaur form. Until the X-Men show up there because of an unrelated adventure and he gets his hands on Storm, and then abracadabra, Dino Man is back. This arc, which was also in the original X-Men, does elaborate a little bit on why his personality seems to swing so wildly. It seems that when he transforms into Sauron, he just turns evil. It's not like he's consumed by hunger or he needs more energy when he's
just
in
evil.
his empowered state. No, he's just like a normal guy when he's human and then becomes a comedic supervillain when he changes. I don't really have a better explanation than that. It sounds dumb. It is truly how it's written, I promise.
It sounds dumb, but honestly, that sounds like a lot of fun to read.
Yeah.
Or honestly, just write a character like that. Just be over the top, supervillain evil when you turn, and then just be a normal dude otherwise.
Sometimes just having an evil for evil's sake character is fun.
Obviously, the evil characters with more depth can be interesting to explore, but I definitely feel like oftentimes if everybody is that way, then it gets a little bit stale. Evil
I
for
feel
evil's sake can be
Having an evil character with a lot of depth to him will always be my preferred villain or more remembered villain.
fun.
But very often I run into people trying to write that kind of villain and failing, and they're the worst kind of villain.
Yeah, when the reasoning doesn't make sense and the hypocrisy is too clear, but the characters just kind of, forget about it. Don't worry about that. I'm evil with depth. Definitely.
Yeah.
A few lines imply there's a Hulk Banner type dynamic here, but they're not ever shown to be fully separate beings. And even if they were, this gets dropped in later books. Oh, well. I mean, I was talking about the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing, but if you're going to do the Hulk Banner thing, because from what we learned of Hulk, they've gone really deep into that, and it's become incredibly intriguing with the relationship between the two, and have created some amazing stories out of that. They maybe could have done it with this character, but I feel like the basis for the character is a little not strong enough.
A little too silly.
Yeah, a little too silly from the get-go.
Silly and fun Sauron's concept is, he quickly became a recurring antagonist for a bunch of superheroes, but usually X-Men, as he does have to drain the life force of mutants to gain his full powers. He is not a mutant, importantly. He just is affiliated with them because for some reason his power set is associated with them, which is never really elaborated other than they have more life energy.
Why is Cyclops cleaning his armpits for him?
Because, bro, you need to shave. Let me get you.
Or whatever. Shaky as that association is, though, it did lead to Sauron getting recruited into various mutant villain teams, most notably the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Though he did not join them of his own accord, he was regular human Karl Lykos at the time, and then the Brotherhood forced him to transform into Sauron again and drain Tanya's life force, killing his love interest in the process. She stayed dead. So yeah, Sauron just killed her. Yikes. As you can guess by that storyline, during his early days, the contrast between Sauron and Lykos was an important part of his character, but as years and decades progressed, Karl Lykos became less and less a factor in the character as a whole. Because, hypnotizing Dinosaur Man is a much more interesting idea, especially for a cheesy villain of the week, and that's what most writers want to do with him. As such, his powers have evolved and shifted quite a bit over the decades, usually just gaining new ones for whatever storyline he happens to be in, sometimes quite literally, as Sauron has shown the ability to copy the powers.
Oh, I just noticed. See the top right here? Jekyll and Reptile Hyde. Well, there you go.
I like his introduction. Dr. Karl Lykos, Sauron, energy vampire hypnotist.
He's a lot of things. He's whatever the writers need him to be, and he fits the role.
Jack of all trades kind of dinosaur.
Yeah. You throw him in there to be a funny villain for the heroes to overcome in a little mini arc, and it serves its purpose. That's fair.
Of mutants that he drains, at least temporarily. How exactly that ability works has never really been defined. The first mention of it that I can find is in the New Avengers issue 6, where Wolverine mentions that Sauron can absorb mutant energy, and apparently that includes him being able to copy Wolverine's healing factor.
Oh.
This book doesn't really seem to understand Sauron's abilities in general, though, as he can also breathe fire all of a sudden. Though this specific...
Well, look, it's cool, all right? It's a cool
Yeah.
ability for the flying vampire hypnotist doctor man. Just breathe fire.
new ability might have its origins in the Weapon X program. There was an arc where Sauron was captured by them and experimented on, resulting in him becoming more animalistic and losing his hypnotism powers. Lame, that was the funniest part of his character, but gaining some extra energy manipulation in the process. After the Weapon X nonsense, he appears to be able to drain energy from sources other than people, and he can then expel that as a sort of electrical blast. So maybe if he absorbs heat energy, he can shoot out fire?
He does gain his hypno powers back when his intelligence is restored. Don't worry. Should have clarified that.
And he can just kind of absorb and expel whatever energy he needs to. I don't know, that is the best explanation that I got. So for those of you keeping track of Sauron's powers at home, he is a pteranodon man.
Yeah.
As such, he is incredibly strong and fast and durable, and also he can fly. Plus, he's an energy vampire who can weaken his opponents by draining their life force, and he seems to be able to drain and expel other types of energy on a case-by-case basis. And he's also a hypnotist who can control his opponent's minds and perceptions by looking into their eyes. His power set is just all across the board, but there is one thing that is notably missing. Where on earth, I can hear you all asking, is the turning people into dinosaurs bit? That is arguably what this character is most known for in the...
Wait. Please don't tell me that this was edited. This is just a meme that was created. It can't be, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh boy.
eyes of the
Pretty sure I
general
remember
public
part
at
of
least,
it.
but it doesn't seem to be one of Sauron's many, many things, at least not yet. Well, guess what? There's a whole other layer to that panel I showed you right at the beginning. See, I wanted to do a fun, easy video for my last one of the year, something that was quick to produce and kind of silly, and Sauron, being the wild villain of the week that he is, was perfect for that. But he's also not really long enough to fill a video, at least not one of mine, and therefore I decided to pull a move in classic comic book fashion. This video is a Marvel 2-in-1. Now let's talk about Stegron. What,
Ooh.
you thought Marvel only had one Dinosaur Man
Oh my
supervillain?
God.
Come on, no. Only 4 years after the debut of Sauron, Marvel would give us another guy with a very similar concept in Stegron, this time a Spider-Man villain. Now, with how surprisingly convoluted Sauron's origin was, I'm sure that Stegron's origin is going to be just as detailed.
Interesting. So Stegron is a Spider-Man villain. I was always under the impression that Sauron was a Spider-Man villain, but no, he's always been against the
It's
X-Men
probably because that
so
panel
far.
has Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, probably. Huh. And then I guess they end up teaming up here? Because, well, I guess the writer saw that they're kind of similar-ish characters enough. Have them work together.
So let's begin with that. Stegron's real name is Dr. Vincent Stegron. So maybe it's not going to be quite as complex. This means that, again, for those keeping score at home, we have two dinosaur men, both with very similar names, but one of them who named himself after a classic literary villain, and the other one who is just using his regular human name, which happened to make him sound kind of like a dinosaur man already. Despite the stupidity of Dr. Stegron's name, though, his origin actually is pretty fun. Unlike Sauron, Dr. Stegron was a scientist working in a field that you would expect for a comic book supervillain. Specifically, he was a biochemist conducting experiments into cellular regeneration using reptile DNA. The formula developed ended up being far more intense than the
Well, this sounds very similar to the other popular
Connors.
Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it basically the same
Very
thing?
much
I
so.
guess we're just slightly different because we're not a lizard. We're a dinosaur lizard.
than the experiment originally demanded, and when Dr. Stegron tested it on himself, it turned him into a dinosaur man. Now, that might sound very familiar to Spider-Man fans, because what I just described
Sorry, I should have just let the video play.
Rewatched.
Rewatched. Oh no.
Is basically shot for shot the origin of the lizard. And yeah, that's actually the intent. Dr. Vincent Stegron was a lab assistant to Dr. Kurt Connors, working on a follow-up experiment to the original lizard formula that Connors had developed. This was years after the original lizard incident, at a time when Dr. Connors was back to human form, so he was conducting the experiments far more safely. But Dr. Stegron, on the other hand, he kind of liked the outcome of the original lizard experiment and figured that since now they were
working the lizard on purpose, though.
Did it, and bigger and better and built different, and not just a lizard, but a lizard dinosaur? Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Working with dinosaur DNA for some reason, that might turn out even better. Stegron became obsessed with the experiments and became convinced that if lizard extract could turn a man into a human lizard, then dinosaur extract could, well, you get my point. The comics are extremely self-aware about the fact that Stegron is just an intentionally evil lizard ripoff, and if you need solid proof of that, that line that I just told you, I took that directly from Stegron's first appearance. That is how Dr. Connors describes Stegron to Spider-Man, down to the, well, you get my point. After stealing the formula and transforming into a Stegosaurus man, Stegron flees to where else but the Savage Land, where he plans to raise an army of dinosaurs that he will use to take over the world. Pretty standard kind of cartoony villain plot, but one that does have some really funny implications with larger Spider-Man media. See, the lizard in the main Marvel Comics universe is kind of just a monster most of the time. He's a reptilian werewolf in a way. Yeah. Connors will transform into the lizard and then go on some sort of mindless rampage. You know the drill.
So yeah, this is very different because he has a plan, a strategy to rule the world and work with others to do so. But lizard just goes crazy, so I guess the dinosaur DNA was made different. Did make him different.
But this is not how he is represented in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. The live-action version of Lizard has a whole reptilian supremacy thing going on. When he's Dr. Connors, he is basically the same as the comics, but in his lizard state, he believes that he is a superior being, and he wants to transform everyone into lizards so that reptiles can rule the earth. That's not a comics lizard thing. That is a Stegron thing. Genuinely, the live-action version of Lizard is a better adaptation of Stegron than Kurt Connors. In Stegron's first comics...
That's not wrong.
Does anybody know why they decided to go for like a more humanoid design to Lizard? I've never seen a humanoid design to Lizard in the comics, or from the few comic book panels that I've seen of the character.
The whole face thing of it, I don't know. I don't know who looked at that one. That's the direction we want to take this.
Yeah, it's just kind of off-putting.
We want to look like Bowser from the Super Mario movie.
It kind of reminds me of like redone Sonic in the Sonic movie. Just like when they saw the trailers and everybody hated it.
The thing is, it's well done. Like, you don't look at it and go, wow, that's really shitty CGI or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just ugly.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to deny that. They should have just gone full Lizard at that point. They could have done it pretty easily, I'm sure. But it is what it is.
I feel like the decision had to have come down to like actors emoting or something along those lines. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking too.
It's ugly.
Like, yeah, maybe they could show more emotion if it had a more human face, but I don't really know if that's the character.
His appearance, though, he is not transforming people, at least not yet. His dinosaur army here is just regular dinosaurs that he picked up from the Savage Land. He is pursued there by Spider-Man and fought by both the Web Slinger and the premier hero of the Savage Land, Kazar. And they don't manage to stop him, actually. Stegron fully gets away in this comic. He successfully loads his airship full of dinosaurs and then flies it back to New York City, where he is opposed again by Spider-Man and also Black Panther, of all characters. This fight goes exactly how you'd expect. It is Black Panther and Spider-Man fighting a bunch of dinosaurs in the middle of Manhattan. It's awesome. And there's a really funny shot in the middle of it where Spider-Man saves MJ from getting crushed, but this is before MJ knows his secret identity. And so to cover that he's actually concerned for her specifically, he decides in that moment to just be like incredibly mean to her so that she doesn't clock him as Peter, which is a wild choice, but it does work. Stegron is eventually brought down in a fittingly stupid rule of cool way. He and Spider-Man have a hand-to-hand brawl on top of a flying pterodactyl, and Stegron is eventually knocked off of it, landing in the Hudson and immediately sinking like a rock. This does take him off the board for a while, but Stegron, of course, survives, somehow going into a low metabolism hibernation-like state, and then just drifting to shore eventually. Then, during his next villain plot, he doubles down on his dinosaur weirdness. This time, rather than sourcing dinosaurs naturally from the Savage Land, Stegron attacks the Natural History Museum with a ray gun that can bring dinosaur skeletons to life.
This is like
Dr. Animal.
I was going to say, right? That reminds me of the Ben 10 video that we checked out. I'm pretty sure there was a plot similar to this, actually.
He does this in episode 2 of Ben 10 Classic.
But I mean, like, it's a step up from the previous idea, right? The living dinosaurs coming. Now we get the skeletal dinosaurs. Hell yeah, now that's cool. I appreciate how cheesy it is. But, you know, we get to see more dinosaur action, so I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
The book also doubles down on the lizard men in a very literal way, as the point of this second Stegron arc is that Stegron and the lizard are attacking at the exact same time, meaning that Spider-Man has to deal with both of them. Reverting Connors to human form is easy enough, as Peter just develops a special web fluid that contains the cure for lizardism.
Honestly, this drawing... He just looks like a surprised fish. It'd be like in one of the gifts that you like to send.
I love him.
Which is not a word that I made up. That is what the comic actually says.
Bruh. Cure for your lizardism.
After yet another dinosaur fight, Stegron is again defeated by falling through the ice of a Central Park lake and sinking like a rock a second time. So Stegron's main weakness is just water. Much like Sauron, Stegron's general silliness and fun concept led to him becoming a recurring villain of the week, and with every one of his appearances, he would inch closer and closer to the whole turning people into dinosaurs bit. Maybe he was trying to clone a race of human and dinosaur hybrids, or he would unearth a magical artifact that caused people exposed to it to devolve in some way. All of this just got more and more out there until the fateful comic Spider-Man and the X-Men issue number 1. This comic starred Spider-Man as a guest teacher at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, which was the Xavier School equivalent at the time in 2014. After trying and failing to wrangle his class of mutant students, which, yes, does include fan favorite Glob Herman, Peter takes the kids on a field trip to the New York Museum of Natural History. And there, they are met with both Stegron and Sauron. Yes, they're doing a team up, and this is the reason why I made the video a 2-in-1. The dynamic that these two have with each other is hilarious, because despite both being dinosaurs...
In this one image, it's just two bros riding on their dinosaurs out about.
Two guys who like their dinosaurs.
Two dinosaurs riding two dinosaurs.
I just think of that meme. Dinosaur.
Men supervillains, they don't really have that much in common with each other. Sauron, after all, isn't even really a scientist.
Oh boy. Big text box because this is a weird thing. Sauron's status as a genius scientist of any kind is inconsistent. In his first appearance, he was mostly a hypnotherapist, as I covered. He was a licensed physician and did have a medical degree, but there's nothing to indicate that he was an experimental scientist beyond that. Plus, his powers aren't science-based. He didn't create them at all, let alone on purpose. Over the decades, though, he just sometimes started being characterized as a genius mad scientist more and more, with no reasoning behind it. My genuine best guess is that people just assumed he was. even though that was never originally the case. Whatever the deal is, Stegron is for sure a more experienced scientist.
I like to imagine that it just kind of becomes part of Sauron's character, like what he's playing at. Like, of course, genius evil scientist, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. When you look at the character and you don't know the history of the character, that is more than likely going to be your train of thought, especially with other superheroes, supervillains of the same type kind of having said origin. They have to have these kind of backgrounds. It was
He
just
looks
wasn't
like
established.
that archetype, even though that's not his origin at
Yeah,
all.
no, not at all. His origin is just way more confusing than that and doesn't really make a whole lot of sense up until a point.
He has been referred to as a geneticist and biochemist, but this is only in Marvel handbooks, and the actual storylines with him don't bring that up that much. He is a hypnotherapist, that is his thing, and all of the science knowledge in this pair is with Stegron. They argue with each other the entire time. There are so many good panels in this little arc. This is another one of my favorites, where Sauron tells Stegron that he sounds like an effeminate cartoon snake, and their general dislike of each other is amplified by the fact that Sauron really likes to hear himself talk. He monologues constantly, and as you can guess, this finally is where the meme panel comes from. At the end of a very long speech, Spider-Man says, with tech like that, you could cure cancer, and Sauron responds, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
They cooked. They cooked really hard with this line.
They cooked so hard.
When they were writing it down, the page burned. It was too lit, bro. I love it though. In some ways,
I just like this duo. These two together are so funny.
Oh yeah. The dynamic seems like it'd be hilarious, especially with what Sauron's character has sort of been assumed to become. But I was gonna say, like, I think this part of him could be them looking at the origin and being like, he did this whole dramatic ass speech and then proclaimed that he was evil while he was turning. So he would probably be the kind who just mouth off, even during points where he shouldn't be talking.
100%.
Yeah.
Though there is a question with that, though. What tech is he using? He's not using his own powers to do that, so naturally, he's using Stegron's technology. Stegron has invented a machine that can turn people into dinosaurs. Notably, not humanoid dinosaurs, it just turns people into regular-ass dinos. This leads to one of the reasons that I wanted to do this entire video in the first place, which is the reveal that the iconic meme panel has an immediate follow-up to the joke.
Oh?
Remember, Sauron is not using his own technology here. He is using something invented by Stegron and basically just taking credit for all of that. So right after the meme panel, we have this. But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
We want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Yes, we. That is the next panel. The meme for all these years, the thing that has made Sauron a relatively known character, is him stealing credit for Stegron's work. And then instantly after this, Stegron's like, hey dude, I made this. This is a plan we're doing together, bro. Making this even better, the icing on the cake, if you will, is that Sauron and Stegron being a dysfunctional partnership is what brings them down at the end of this arc. See, on the mutant team that Spider-Man was teaching, there was a character named Shark Girl. I shouldn't have to explain what Shark Girl's whole thing is. The name and picture of her alone should make it abundantly clear.
She's a little bit, maybe not as strong as Jeff, but you know, she's kind of out there. I could definitely see it.
She's got one asset that Jeff doesn't have. Well, two, I guess.
Well, Shark Girl for Marvel Rivals 1. We really need more tank variety. Just saying.
True. So now I really watch
Sauron. We need more villains. You're actually cooking, Survey. We do need more villains.
Imagine strategist
Strategist Stegron? Strategist Sauron. Duel with Sauron?
I would say strategist Sauron, but he ain't doing no strategizing.
No, he knows strategy, man. He just goes in and fucks shit up and maybe does something. You
I could
probably
argue he
not.
could be tank. I think he could tank.
Tank? I would see Sauron
Yeah.
tanking way earlier than Sauron tanking.
He's still a big dinosaur. Compare him to like half the duelist out there.
I guess you can maybe have him be like a dive tank, kind of like Angela is. Like
Actually,
a
that
flying
would be a
dive
sick.
tank.
Yeah, make him a dive tank.
Yeah, but well, I guess there is precedence considering we have Devil Dino, so dinosaurs can be added.
And I want Stegron to be a strategist. Give me a bulky, beefy strategist. Come on, do it. Let my ult just turn my team into dinosaurs.
Oh my god, that would be incredible, actually. Turn the enemy team into dinosaurs and then makes it so that their silence can't use their abilities. CC.
Being a sort of prehistoric animal hybrid herself, when the Dino Bros capture the heroes and take them to their new base, which is a transformed Staten Island, Shark Girl defects and joins the villains. This is where things take a turn. See, there's not a lot of animal hybrids in the Marvel Universe, or to be more specific, there's not a lot of animal hybrids that aren't mammals. This means that for the few non-mammal hybrids, there aren't a lot of options, if you catch my drift, and because of this, Sauron immediately falls in love with Shark Girl like the second he sees her. Now, to address the elephant in the room really quick, or mammoth in the room, or whatever, yes, Shark Girl is a student at the Jean Grey School.
Oh boy.
I don't actually know how old she is. It is never confirmed, and I will say, having gone back and read some of her earlier appearances, she is coded to be older than the rest of them. The Jean Grey School doesn't exactly follow a normal grading system, and she does refer to the other students as kids on a couple of occasions. So I'm going to assume that she's like 18 to 20 college age. Not that that makes this necessarily a lot better. There is still an age.
How could you say something so controversial yet true?
Hey, so far his track record is still legal age, just young.
Oh, yeah.
Presuming Shark Girl is legal.
At the very least,
what their superheroes implying.
It's still legal, you know. At least there's that. Sauron will do evil and turn people into dinosaurs, but he won't stoop that low. I hope.
Maybe. We don't know that.
We don't know. I just don't get it, man. Older women is where it's at, bro. I don't get these people.
Imagine Shark Girl with like 10, 20 more years on her.
Damn. You know, honestly, Servi, even you'd probably want to tap that. You gonna deny that? I don't think so. I don't think so.
We'll leave that hypothetical for the rest of the audience to imagine.
Actually, you know what, guys? Would you tap that and give Shark Girl like 10, 20 more years, however many? Would you? I want to know.
Would you?
I think I know the answer, but we'll let you guys tell us.
Age gap, but still. What does definitely make this story a lot better is that it is written to be creepy in a kind of parody way. This comic seems to be poking fun at vampire romances, since that is, after all, kind of what Sauron is. It's really...
My head is blogging this, but Shark Girl's face right now is hilarious,
She
bro.
looks so upset and uncomfortable.
It's like, what the fuck? I didn't sign up to be Belle from Twilight. What is this?
Clearly making fun of things like Twilight, where even though the characters appear younger, they are
Pretty watched.
way too old to be dating the characters that they're dating. That's the bit here. And that bit is about to triple down, because Shark Girl did not actually flip sides here. She was just pretending to join the villains because it was kind of believable that she'd do so, and then she could betray them later, which she gets an opportunity to do in the funniest possible way. Stegron is in the process of trying to fix the dinosaur transformation machine so that
Oh no, they actually turned the dude into a dinosaur. No! But now he's a jello skeleton dinosaur. No!
it works on mutants in addition to regular humans, but it's taking too long, and eventually Sauron blows a fuse, leading to him getting into a fight with Spider-Man and most of the mutants, but Shark Girl stays behind and uses that chance to seduce the other lizard man.
Oh no.
She gaslights the hell out of Stegron, playing into the fact that Sauron has been incredibly mean to him this entire time, and eventually
Oh my god. I know I
love
have that
this
effect
so
on
much.
scaly dudes. We don't need Sauron, do we? As long as we've got each other. I have that
And like, she's
effect
not
on
even like
scaly
laying it on
dudes.
very thick or acting or anything. She's just kind of just giving him the lines.
Oh man. Ever since I first saw you, just look, scaly dudes in Marvel, and not a whole lot of options. Jeez. Or maybe Sharko really is all that, you know? She's just a 10 out of
Yeah.
10. You never know.
Heck yeah.
flirts with him enough that she convinces him to show her how the transformation machine works. And as that is happening, Sauron flies back into the window, sees Stegron and Shark Girl getting closer to each other, and flips out again. This causes them to get into a huge fight. And before we see how that turned out, there is one more question we have to answer. Why was Stegron going along with this in the first place? The transformation machine is his invention, so what was he getting out of the deal? Well, it turns out that Sauron had shared his life-draining ability with Stegron as well.
Oh my god. The romance triangle? That means that Sauron gave him the special bite. It's insane, bro. There's layers to this romance.
Since he's vampire-like, apparently that is something that he can transfer to others, and Sauron now has
Sure,
that
yeah.
power too.
That
So
checks
their
out.
fight ends with
The
them
logic
grappling
logics.
and then simultaneously using their life drain powers on each other, meaning that they get counteracted and both frozen in place, taking each other out just because they were fighting over this shark woman who was manipulating them both. Shark Girl then
Wicked
uses
woman.
the knowledge that she got from Stegron to reverse the transforming effects of the device, and the day is saved, in perhaps one of the wildest ways ever put to page. Oh, also, Glob Herman got turned into a baby Triceratops for a bit, and
He did.
looking at him in this form, I feel like this idea was why this arc got written in the first place. Someone wanted to do Dinosaur Skeleton Glob and wrote this arc around that pitch. Since this, neither Sauron nor Stegron have been wildly important characters. They are and pretty much always have been silly villains of the week after all, but they do still appear in that capacity. Stegron most recently appeared in a one-shot called Kid Pool and Spider Boy, which you can get the vibe of this one from the cover alone. Sauron does appear a little bit more, likely because he can be used in two different ways. He is also a frequent villain of the week, but his connection with mutants runs so deep at this point that he may as well be one, and so he has appeared longer term in a couple of mutant
This is fair.
storylines. Shortly before the iconic Stegron team-up, Sauron was actually the science teacher at the Hellfire Academy, which was like an evil equivalent to the Jean Grey School, and in the years since the team-up, his longest run was as a member of a team called X-Men Green? X-Men Green was a fairly minor and very unsanctioned X-Men group during the Krakoa era. They were a small team of eco-terrorists, essentially, and Sauron joined them because he was mad about humanity's use of oil. Not because it was polluting the planet, as much as because oil is largely made out of the decaying corpses of dinosaurs.
Sauron's great, man. Love this guy. And also, it was a
He just
genius
likes his
idea
dinosaurs.
to pair him up with Stragon, or God,
Yeah.
everyone forgot his name.
Stegron, yeah.
Stegron, the other. It's just they have to be having so much fun writing these comics because they're silly and super over the top, and it's clearly meant for just a fun read, which I fully support.
Yeah.
Despite his relative unimportance at large scale, though, Sauron is enough of an iconic weirdo villain that he does make appearances
Sauron is sapiosexual.
What does that mean? Hey, Sauron's into everything, okay? Don't kick shame the man.
No, he's particularly really into dinosaurs and sharks, apparently.
Wait, that's what that means?
I don't know. I got to assume.
Is in other media. Most recently, he was in the new video game Marvel Cosmic Invasion as the boss of a Savage Land level, which is not something I was expecting, but I'm very here for it.
That's fun.
Stegron does not appear in nearly as much, but I think we need a bit of justice for this dinosaur man.
We do.
After all, Sauron was turned into a dinosaur against his will. Stegron was about that life completely willingly. He turned into this on purpose. Even the most iconic meme panel of these two is Sauron stealing the fame for Stegron's hard work. So the next time you see this panel floating around, laugh at it because it is funny, but remember, they want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Give Stegron the credit
with the follow-up panel
that he is due. Thank you all so much for watching and for indulging my funny dinosaur man video. As usual, I hope you all enjoyed. The Inhumans feature was my big finale for 2025, but I wanted to do yet another video this month, and I figured if I was going to do one, it may as well be silly, so Sauron and Stegron 2-in-1 was an obvious choice. As always, I have a Patreon. If you go and check that out, you can find early and ad-free access to all of my videos, as well as a Patreon exclusive video every month. As of the end of 2025, there are 5 hours and counting of exclusive content on there, so it's well worth a look.
Yeah.
My username there is the exact same as it is here. There's also a link to that in the description of this video and on my channel page. It's very easy to find, and for the last time this year, huge thank you to everyone who already supports me over there. It really does help me keep making these videos for you guys. Also, big shout out to Ruben Perez, the artist I work with for these videos. He drew the character that you've been watching talk at you for the last half hour, so go check out his work if you want to see more of this art style. And with that, Sir Superhero 2025 concludes with dinosaurs. What a way to go out. I'll see you all with more nonsense in 2026.
Very much so.
All right. Well, after watching this video, I now need the two of them to be in Marvel Rivals. They have to. They have to have a team up too.
I agree.
I also need Sharko in there as well. She seems like such a funny character. Just from this one interaction. I've never seen this character before, but
their dialogue with Chef and Devil Dino. And
oh yeah, it will be amazing. I want to see that. But hey, it's good to finally learn about the meme panel. This is just great characters who the writers clearly know, like they not have a serious background. So we're just gonna have fun making fun stories for people to read, and it's great. It's great all around, honestly. Stonks.
Yeah, very much so.
And glad that you could check it out with me, Servi. Good choice. Good choice. See? You
so
make
glad.
good decisions. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
But alrighty, my dudes. I think I'm going to call things here for now. So thank you guys so much for joining Serbi and I. Hope you all enjoyed your time here and hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. But we will catch you guys in the next one. Later, dudes.
Bye-bye.